met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, do you come from a land down under, where women glow and men wonder? Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. Buying bread from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4" and full of muscle. I said, do you speak my language? He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. He said, I come from a land down under, where people slow and men chunder. Can you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. Yeah. Can you hear the thunder? Oh yeah. You better run, you better take cover.
Thank you to our newest mage patron, Kobe Almasan. If you want to become a patron yourself, you can head to my Patreon and you can choose between 5 classes, which all offer something different. Also, if you're interested in any more of my art, you can head to my Instagram. It's basically where I'm the most active and I post all my art there. Okay, on to the video. Hey, it's me, your favorite artist that you're obviously subscribed to. Today, I'm going to show you how to shade. So, this isn't shading like, oh, light hits here, so this is how it should be. No, this is a step further. I'm going to show you all the different types of steps you should do when shading. These steps are like, from my experience, there could probably be like some expert who knows more than me, but this is basically from my experience. So right here we have the 6 steps of shading, and over here we have the reference picture and the copy of my reference picture. So I'm going to define all of these really quickly. So base and shade, that's pretty self-explanatory. So it's your base color and the shading of your base color. So look at my hand right here. Ignore the brown color that's all over the front of my hand and just pay attention to this part and this part. That's basically your base and shade. So imagine if your object was in a white room full of white light, and that's it. So that's your base and shade. Multiply, on the other hand, takes into consideration environmental lighting. So now you can pay attention to the brown color because that's from the environment. It's from the sun right here. That's why my hand is brown. Subscatter, I don't know how to explain it. It's basically how light penetrates a translucent surface like a grape, and it's absorbed and scattered and exits the surface at a different location. I just read that off, so that's from a website. So basically, where you're gonna find the most subscatter is like on the edge of the shadow. You see like right here how it's orange and then it just fades off, the orange fades off. That's basically what subscatter is. You can search up reference pictures of it. I don't know, I'm not an expert on subscatter, but it does make the image look more interesting. Indirect light. Indirect light is basically light bounces off surfaces that hits indirectly on an object. So the indirect light, you're mostly going to find it from the sun. So on this picture here, you can see that from my window, it's showing off blue right here because of the indirect lighting. The direct lighting is the light that is coming from the light of my bathroom. This is my bathroom. The direct light is from my bathroom, and the indirect lighting is from the sun, since it's hitting my hand from the other side. And then highlights, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's like the glowiness, the glossiness of the drawing, how bright it is, all that. So the highlights are from the direct lighting, and then the indirect light is from the sun. All right, so over here, I'm gonna show you how to apply each of those steps. And now the brushes I'm gonna use are pretty generic. I know a lot of people like to use fancy brushes, but you seriously do not need that. So right here, what I'm gonna use is basically a blur sketch. It's basically just a sketch brush. I'm gonna use a blur tool to help me blur the blur sketch even more, so like that. And then I also have an airbrush tool, just a generic airbrush tool. So that's really all you need. You don't really need anything else aside from a marker to, I guess, fill in the base color, but that's about it. So what I'm gonna show you is how to color this, and then I'm gonna remove the line art and show you like how to refine it. That's basically what refinements is. If you're doing like a painting type drawing, then you don't really need the line art, and then you're gonna refine it from there. So let's start. So base and shading. I have my 3 colors right here. We have the second shading, and then we have the hardcore shading. So we're gonna look at my reference picture here and take a look at where the base shading is, okay? So over here, you can pretty much see that the base shading is like, so let's ignore the brown part, remember? So you can find it that it's in the creases of the skin. You can see that it's in like the little knuckle areas, and then you can see that it's basically mostly just in the creases of the skin and in the knuckles area. And then here at my wrist, you can see that most of the shading is in lines. So like right here, it's in a line. Right here, it's in a line. So let's apply that. You'll understand more once I start doing it. So first, we're gonna do the creases of the skin. So what I like to do is I like to take I should probably bring up my tool brush. I like to basically draw over, oh, that is the wrong color. I basically like to draw over the crease of the skin and then blur it out. So what I'm gonna do right here is make a little triangle with an oval in the middle of it. So just basically do that for every single crease of skin that you see. Even in between the knuckles. Where? And now for the arm part, I'm going to do a bunch of lines because you can see that a lot of my bones and veins, I think they're my veins, are creating a sort of line effect. So I'm going to kind of create some lines here that would be affected from my veins and my bones. So here, this is all with the blur sketch, okay? So you can't have hard shadows without soft shadows. Well, you can, that's called soft shading, but we're doing soft shading. So what I'm gonna do now is that after I apply all the hard shadows, which is basically what we did, I'm gonna take the blur tool and kind of blur out some of the edges that are not like